everybody, I'm Johnny Scoville, and this is Chase the Heat. Here we go again, you guys. It's pod season, so that means all pods all the time. I got a beauty. Look at this. Tell me if you guys recognize this. I'll bet you do. You guys recognize this pod? Let me give you a little help. You guys remember the yellow one I ate recently? Very recently from Randy Keaton, I ate it was a yellow Moruga scorpion crossed with a Fatalii, which was then crossed with a yellow reaper, and it was an F3 stage. It was a very yellow pod and a little twisted and contorted. You guys recognize this? Same pod shape. Here's the deal. Randy is growing these out. He's growing out the yellow ones that are yellow Moruga scorpion by Fatalii crossed with a yellow reaper. What happened a year ago? One of the plants threw a mustard pod, a green pod. He thought that's kind of cool, so he saved that pod out, took the seeds, grew them this year, and guess what? It didn't revert back. He's got a mustard pod of the same. Oh, that's cool. That's how this stuff happens, you guys. Different variants just pop up. That's how chocolate pods happen. One day a chocolate pod was thrown from a plant that was throwing red pods, and somebody went, wow, what is that? So, you guys watched me eat the yellow one. Again, it was a yellow Moruga scorpion crossed with a Fatalii crossed with a yellow reaper. Here's the exact same pod, but the mustard version of it. This weighed almost 10 grams. I did weigh it. I'm going to cut this thing open right now, and we're going to munch this pod. Now, the yellow one was a pretty hot pod. No two ways about it. It was warm. So I'm hoping that this one is going to be just as warm. And I'll tell you what, it certainly is a pretty pepper on the inside. Give me just a minute, people, and I'll show you this. All right, check this out. Now, give me just 1 second, guys. Okay, here we go. Look at the interior. Again, this is the outside, the contorted, twisted pod. There is the interior. Huge placenta. Oh, almost the whole pod. Seriously, so this is going to be a screamer. You know what's interesting? It has a very green aroma. You guys know that aroma from like a jalapeno or a serrano? It smells similar to the one I had earlier, but just more of a green aroma. I don't know how to describe green, but man, I'm going to sneeze. Maybe I won't. Maybe I won't. Here, if you guys remember, here is what that pod, the last pod, this is the yellow pod that I just ate that I was telling you about, cut open. Here's the green pod. Same thing, just different color. Man, that excites me. All right, guys, we're going to munch this pod right now. There's a 9-pod mustard version of a yellow Moruga scorpion crossed with a Fatalii, then crossed with a yellow reaper. I'm Johnny Scoville, and this is Chase the Heat. All right, so that was interesting. I was trying to remember what the last pod tasted like. I eat a lot of pods, so it's difficult to remember a specific one. This had a sort of a fruity flavor to it. There was no floral at all, which was a blessing. But what there was a lot of bitterness. Now, it wasn't as bitter. I ate one yesterday. It was one of the most bitter pods I've ever eaten. It wasn't that bitter. There was certainly some bitterness, but it was the bitterness actually dissipated before I even really swallowed the pod. So it was just real bitter up front and then just faded away. I swear it's the best part about the negative attributes like floral and bitterness. They dissipate so quickly and you're just left with a great taste of the pepper. The burn on that is... I have to go back and look at the other video to see if it's identical, but the burn here is on the center of my tongue, not on my throat at all. the middle of my tongue. Across, like a band across the middle of my tongue. Like, let's talk, it's not moving anywhere. That's a stationary burn. But let me tell you what the heat is. You know, if you're somebody that finds a jalapeno hot, this would ruin your day. If you're like, even habanero, if you're habanero strength, this is gonna bum you out. It really will. It's a hot pepper. My scale of 1 to 10, you guys don't want to hear this, but again, it's gonna be somewhere around a 3. But don't let it fool you. You've seen the David and Goliath series? If David were sitting here right here eating that part, he'd be freaking out right now. I'm just telling you, it's a hot pepper. Delicious finish though, I'm telling you. Mustard pods have a great finish. They all have a different kind of finish. Like yellow pods, orange pods, red pods, mustard pods, chocolate pods. They have some unique characteristics just to their color. It's kind of a cool thing. It's peaked, it's not gonna get any higher than this, which is sort of a bummer. Kind of wish it got a little higher, but it is what it is. I'm really excited this came out, mustard. That's a great variant. The yellow pod is so twisted, it looks like a corkscrew. It looks like when it dried, it just kind of, like it was a long pepper, when it dried, it just kind of pulled into itself and did one of those numbers. That's what it looks like. That's what I imagine it doing. But when he grew one out last year and threw that mustard pod, it's terrific that they happened again. He didn't know. When he grew them out this year, he didn't know if it was going to revert back, because it happens sometimes, or if it was going to stay consistent and stay mustard. And it did. So he's going to stabilize that, and it'll be a full strain that you can count on, stable strain. But that's going to be it. My heat is down to about a 0 already. So it was kind of a quick burn. The flavor was great though. Got to be happy with the flavor of that. All right, we're going to wrap this thing up. We got more peppers this afternoon for you. And this week we'll have some normies. Hey Josh, throw a hand up. They can see you. Are you going to eat a pepper with me? Boom! There's our next normal dude. He's not normal by any stretch of the imagination, but as far as peppers, he is. So we're going to get Josh here this week. What day do you want to do it, you think? Tomorrow. That's a man right there, huh? Boom! So tomorrow, Josh and I are going to eat a pepper. You guys know me. Josh is kind of a newer guy. He's not really a chili head, so it'll be a fun reaction. We'll do that tomorrow. But you guys are awesome. Stay tuned for that. David is on vacation this week, so we'll do David and Goliath next week. But we will have some cool normal stuff for you this week. Right there is our pepper. Man, if you haven't clicked that pepper yet, what are you doing? Come on. Costs you nothing. And it shows me that we're doing something right. So please do that. When you're going to have a chance to hit something for notifications. You'll see a drop tab or whatever. Click all. When you do that, you'll miss nothing. You'll get all of our videos. Right here is League of Fire. They're the one to watch. Bless you. You got to pay attention to League of Fire because amazing things are coming your way. 2 relevant videos right there, and you. You gotta believe me when I tell you this. I love you. I wouldn't do this if it weren't for you. I'm Johnny Scoville. This was Chase the Heat.